During the last bull run, I almost hit $1 million in the peak of the cycle, but unfortunately, I lost pretty much all of it. Now, my goal for this run is to actually take profits properly, knowing what I've learned from the last run, but most importantly, do it with ease and not have to risk money on altcoin, lottery, ticket, meme coins. So how do I plan to do this, dudes? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain the stupidly simple strategies I think we can all do to get massive success in the next bull run and take advantage of what I believe will be one of the big crypto bull runs in history. So in this video, dudes, I'm going to show you my plan on how I'm going to make a minimum of $5 million take home. Now, of course, there's going to be some taxes involved in this, unfortunately, some big ones, but you know, that's another story and we can make a video on that in the future. So let's talk about lessons I learned from the previous run. And this is so important because I can give you this for pretty much free if this is your first bull run or bear market and heading into the bull run. Because what will happen is, tell you exactly, 2021 was my first run. I didn't really get in the bear market. I pretty much got in fucking perfect times, dude. Ethereum was 400 bucks. Bitcoin wasn't the greatest gains. I was getting in 18, 19, 20, 21. It's still decent idea. I think up to 23 or 24. There was good money made there, but the big one was the altcoins, and it was specifically Ethereum. I was buying in at 400, 450, 5. I think the highest I bought was maybe 550 or something, right? So it was a 10x in just Ethereum, right? Which is massive. Some of you guys out there would kill for under $1,000 Ethereum, let alone $550, right? So here's what I learned. No yield on sketch plays. Let me just show you, for example, what I mean by this first one. So this was when I started to build a Celsius account. I had two accounts. This is one of them, the one that I used to share on the channel. Obviously Celsius, if you haven't heard, went to crap. Money is still in there. There's 128K on this one, you know, at the time of 9th of whatever, November 2021. And I had another one, a slightly bigger one with most of my Bitcoin and a lot of Ethereum in. And you know, I was talking about Celsius like religiously, you know, here when this account was making $108 every single week, the other was making a lot more because it had more stable coins as well in it. But regardless, this was very exciting to me, but I was very naive, dudes. I was very naive. So no yield in sketch, please. Non-negotiable. People still like to chase yield. Some guys like to go for yield. There is better plays out there. You can use Exodus Wallet, connect your Trezor. My guy Roberto was showing us in the private community how to do that. So if you want to join that, by the way, get inside if you haven't already. But regardless, you can do stuff like that because you hold your own private keys. We're not going to be taking risks on yield plays like Celsius, etc. anymore. Now, number two, no shit coins, non-negotiable. So a lot of people chase shit coins because they simply have to do that. And what I mean by that is because they have less than $5,000, they're making no effort to increase their active income, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and you know, shit coins can seem tempting. You see this guy made this on Shiba, this on Jesus coin, this on whatever, right? But I promise you, this is a non-negotiable. You do not need to do this if you play the strategy that I'm going to outline to you in a second. Number three is chasing pumps, non-negotiable. I put negotiable there, I should say non-negotiable. QNT is a perfect example. A lot of people were buying QNT the other day because it pumped like 15-20% in a day. Guess what? It's going to start leveling out and people are just going to actually end up losing money because they'll sell like 95, right? That's the big problem. So we do not need to do this. These are what everybody tell you to do. All the small investors, some crypto channels are saying, yep, we're going for this, getting yield, getting shit coins, blah, blah, blah. And this used to be me in 2021. And you can immediately not make those mistakes by just taking that piece of advice. So you don't need to do this. If you think you need to do this, just say, hey, Jake, or say, hey, I remember Jake told me not to do this. This is not the way. So a lot of you guys are going to be tempted with new shiny meme coins that are pumping. That is the equivalent, this is quite funny, but that is the equivalent of going to the bar, getting a 4 out of 10, sleeping with her when you have an 8 out of 10 at home. So weird, sounds weird, but think about it. You already know the good choice, you already have a good woman at home, so why are you wasting your time with a 4 out of 10? Now if she's a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, sure. But why are you wasting your time just to get your PP wet for 30 seconds when you have good altcoins, a good woman that you know loves, provides, whatever you guys are doing in your relationship, and the altcoins you know are going to make you steady gains rather than a quick maybe pump and dump? You get the message there. It's not worth it. You're a high value man now. And what I mean by that is if you look at Sponge, perfect example. A lot of people made some money on this, but 99% of people lost money on this, and this is dead. Another example was coins like this, AI Shiba. All of these coins, this is equivalent of the 4. You know the Ethereum, you know the H-bar, you know the QNT, you know the ADA is an 8 out of 10, but you're chasing this. And what happens is you get absolutely wrecked. How do you get wrecked with a woman? She gets pregnant, you get an STD, your girlfriend finds out, blah, blah, blah. That's how you get wrecked, and that's how you get in cryptocurrency. You don't need to do that. There's going to be examples though, when that 4 out of 10 has similar qualities, when that cryptocurrency meme coin has similar qualities. Jesus coin, Bobby again is riding the effortless coin. He's an absolute genius and he's making a shit ton of money out of this. So there is occasions there is occasions where you can use these 4 out of 10s shit coins to make money. But again, this should be maximum 5 to 10% of your bag. Honestly, 5%. If you have a huge amount of money, 0.1%. If you have a small amount of money, 5 to 10%. But again, I would rather most beginners not chase this, because chances are you're not Bobby and you're not an absolute genius when it comes to shit coins. So you are going to be the ones buying here. I'm probably selling away down here. There's probably another pump in this one. He believes, I mean, it's up as we speak. Yeah, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. I told him this was going to crap. He said, no, Jake, there's got another pump in him. He was right. I was wrong. He's making money. I didn't touch that. So again, although you guys are going to be tempted by this stuff, don't be tempted. You don't need to do this. So here's the strategy, and it's stupid simple. I always ask myself, should I just swap all my coins to Ethereum? I genuinely ask myself that all the time, because I have $300,000 now invested. I've just put here 300K. It changes all the time. Some days I'm down like 20 to 30 grand. Some days I'm going to be up 50 to 100 grand when the bull market happens. This is the difference if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the crypto market. Now, here's my problem. But this is not the strategy I'm going to give to you guys, and nor is this what I'm going to do. But I always say to myself, hey, let's just say we've got an average of 300 grand in. Some of you guys are going to be like, yeah, I don't have 300 grand. You'll know what I mean. And I'll give you the strategy in a second. A 45x, I think we can all agree, is what Ethereum is going to give us. I think that's bare minimum. I think that's easily going to happen. It is a 10K coin, but regardless, we're selling at maybe 7K, 8K, 9K, 45x, whatever it is. That's 1.5 million, obviously, excluding your taxes. I genuinely think about this sometimes. I'm like, hey, easy $1 million trade. I could take the easy way out, $1 million, get that cashed out, put some in whatever, buy a couple of properties. I'm like, nah, that's fucking lame. That's fucking clean. If you're like me, you want more in life. Now, some of you guys would take that because you have 5, 10K and invested and you're chasing shit coins. You'd be like, oh yeah, I would just do that. But chances are you probably wouldn't, because you want more in life, because you can do a lot more damage with 300K. Again, the goal for me is 3 to 5 million, and that doesn't even need to be hard, because that is just, 10x, a little bit more, whatever. But here's the question everybody wants to ask: when to buy and when to sell. The majority of all successful gains from a bull run comes from buying something, sounds stupidly simple, buying something, doing nothing, and then selling at a higher price. Buying something, doing nothing, selling at a higher price. Buying something, doing nothing, selling at a higher price. Say it one more time. Buying something, doing nothing, and selling at a higher price. One more time. Buying something, doing nothing. Again, if you can DCA on the doing nothing part, it's going to exponentially make more money, because you can just grab all these loads, doing nothing, and then selling a higher price. That's a stupidly simple way. And for me, it comes down to 2 main methods that I'm using, and I talk about this all the time. Number 1 is DCA, just talked about. Buying something, DCing in, and doing nothing, and then selling at a higher price. Top coins. So Ethereum, some Bitcoin, HBAR, QNT, ADA, whatever, right? Top coins. Most importantly, as well, I'm using my GG indicator to come in here and see where we are on a daily time frame. I did this in the last bull run, and it made me a shit ton of money on coins like Gala. But unfortunately, again, I was sucked into Celsius, that we talked about before, and that's how I lost it all. But I did the hard work, made the money, put it in Celsius, addicted to yield, and then I effed it up. So I'm going to do the exact same again, DCA, another, the GG indicator, boom, actually take it to the bank instead of putting it in Celsius. That's the difference. I'm just making that mental mindfuck. And then, if I did that in the last run, I would have been came in saying, hey, how do I make 50 million? That's the difference, right? Because in the last run, I could have been cashing out at about 1.2 million, whatever. If I timed it perfectly, worst case scenario, 800, 900, whatever grand. Could have came in here, increased my active income, maybe started with 1.5 million. Now I'm looking at a 10 million portfolio, but I fucked it up. But again, it is what it is. You learn your lessons. So this is what I mean. You can get access to this. Again, it's not here to sell you this, guys. This is, again, just what I'm personally using. The first strategy of just buying something, doing nothing, is going to get you majority of the way there. But if you want to be able to time the market a little bit better to some degree, I use a GG indicator. So I'm using this on 3 coins right now, and 3 coins just religiously. I will add more to this, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, and QNT. Obviously, I hold other coins, right? So Gala, I hold all these coins, but these are just the best coins I'm tracking on. So Bitcoin is pretty self-explanatory. It tracked this like a mother effer in the last run. Confirmation, the trend flip, off you go. It actually called where this big whoopsie doopsie happened, where I remember watching live streams at the time, was still very new to cryptocurrency, and it called it perfectly. And then it called the entry pretty much perfectly again, and it called the sell. So again, this is what will concern you a little bit. We've got a perfect entry, just about obviously the pre-pump, that's when the trend flips. Okay, now we're in and we're off. We're confirmation of a sell. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind, genuinely. Ethereum, again, we've just got confirmation of a sell on the daily. Called it perfectly, called it perfectly. Now the reason I'm doing QNT is because this is the coin that I want to make the 10x on. Now, again, it's not got much data on it, but it called it perfectly. called the sell perfectly. Didn't call this one perfectly, but you would have still made some gains on it. But again, the trend has to flip. It takes time. And again, even with this recent pump that everybody was getting excited about, assume the F out, bro. We're nowhere near bullish in this coin. Assume the F out. Here's a sell. Here's a sell. Confirmation to sell. 23%. Called it perfectly. This big pump. It's nice. It's nice. Some of you guys would have been buying this, just been, oh, we're off we go. No, bro. Look what happened immediately after. Of course that was going to happen. So those are the two strategies. It's going to come down to buying something, doing nothing, and selling at a higher price. GG. See what's flipping. See how we can do this. Ride them up and doing nothing. What I'm not doing. I'm not yield farming. Talked about that. I'm not buying meme coins. Talked about that. I'm not actively trading, although I am not opposed to it because people in my private community are doing it. Like Bobby, he's not actively trading, but he is, for a small place, he's making a lot of money on it. I'm not long-term BTC investing. I don't care about 10 years BTC investing, bro. I don't care. Even though I'll still be young, mid to late 30s in 10 years time, I do not give an F about sitting money in a BTC and just doing nothing, okay? I like the game of just keep going. I don't like doing nothing. And I'm not using leverage. The money is not made for funding other people's dreams. So what I mean by this with the Celsius. So the money is not made for me coming to Celsius and say, hey, take 300, 400 grand, funding your dream for the risk to get 10, 20% yield. So I take all the risk with my full bag just for the chance of 10% yield. And this is what I couldn't understand at the time. I would rather, and I put here, the money is made on speculating on myself. The money is made as me saying, hey, I like Ethereum, I like QNT, I like BTC. So I did it all perfectly in 2021. The thing that I effed up was I took that money that I did perfectly and then I funded Celsius, their dream, and their dream failed. So I took all the risk and they made all the money. What's better? Lending yourself a full bag or just risking getting 10 to 20%? Like I said, Celsius, 10 to 20% for my full bag, or borrowing the money to 10 to 20x. What's better? Buying just Ethereum, buying just QNT, buying just Bitcoin, speculating in yourself. Way better than speculating in another person's company for you to take all the risk, for you to only make 10, 20%. It never works out. So hopefully that video was helpful. Last thing I will say is, how do most people get rich? They follow the DCA plus the try and flip. They have a good active income to funnel into cryptocurrency. Without this, you're not going to make it. Then you have to chase shitcoins, which will 99.999% fail on you. So I really hope that was helpful. It's very simple. A lot of people are going to say, is that it? Is that it? That's it, bro. That's it. Buy something, do nothing, and sell at a higher price. Actively DCA as much as you can. That's how you put that on steroids. Use something like the GG. I'm not telling you guys to use mine. You can use other indicators. It's not just about me here, bro. That's just what I'm doing, remember. Use something that's going to give you the edge. You don't need to go and speculate with Twitter accounts and all this kind of stuff, although that can sometimes be good to do, but I don't have the time for that, dudes. And if you're like me, you just want to play the easy way, get an easy 10x and get the F out. There will be coins out there like HBAR, QNT, maybe they might go even further than 10x, but I'll be out a long time before that, because my goal, and you should have that goal written down. I always talk about this in the private community. What is your end goal? And I'm still thinking of mine right now, but to be honest, I'm looking at 3 to 5 million. That's my goal. Think about your goal and then ask yourself, break that down. Okay, how do I get to that 300 grand for you? How do I get to that 30 grand? How do I get to that 15 grand? How do I get to that 30 million for the big boys out there? And then you look at something, you look at what you can look at for your portfolio, buying something, do nothing, sell at a higher price. Take care.